Welcome to the ET380 lecture video on cellular phone communication. Okay, here we have a basic cell phone block diagram, and we have our radio modems, and we have our receivers. We have a 5G, an LTE receiver, and a Wi-Fi, and you notice that they have two antennas, which I'll cover later. Then we have a Bluetooth receiver, a GPS receiver, and an NFC receiver. Here we have our microprocessor interfaces. So we have ROM, RAM, flash, a touch screen, keyboard, color screen, speaker, microphone, headphones, camera circuits, and our CCD camera, and power management and a battery charger, and at least a battery. Our cell phone has codes. We have electronic serial number, ESN, and that's a unique 32-bit number program in the phone. So this is a permanent. We have the mobile identification number, MIN. It's a 10-digit number derived from the phone's number. System identification code, SID, unique 5-digit number that is assigned to each carrier by the FCC. And then we have our SIM card, which securely stores a service subscriber key and 15 digits. First three are the mobile country code, second 2-digit mobile network code, and the third 10-digit mobile station identification. Cell phones are named because of the cells. So we have a macro cell, which is a large, and it goes from micro to pico and femto, and we'll cover those later. Okay, so we have our cells. We have a macro cell, which is our large outdoor, greater than 3,000 feet. Then we have our small cells, which start at a microcell, 600 to 3,000 feet. A picocell, 300 to 1,000 feet. Femtocell is less than 1,000 feet. And these are newer cells. Here's a diagram of our generations. We have 1G through 5G, starting in 1980, going out here to the 5G advanced. Okay, our generations are 1G, which our first generation. It had analog voice only communication, and it used FM technology. The second generation introduced digital networks, data transmission, and faster speeds. It also used spread spectrum, global system for mobile communications, short message service, SMS, where we could send plain text, multimedia service, where we could send text, videos, and audio files and GIFs, and vocoders were introduced. Their voice digitizers and compressors, which convert our analog into digital to be sent in. Here's a diagram of time division multiplexing used in 2G. It is a technique that allows multiple data streams to share a single communication channel by dividing the available time into slots. And each signal takes turns transmitting data, repeating circuits, and ensuring that different signals do not interfere with each other. This method is efficient for transmitting multiple signals over a single link by modifying band usage. So all of our sources are divided into ABC, sliced, and then sent, and then demultiplexed at the other end. Here's code division multiple access, CDMA. And it is a technology that allows multiple users to transmit data simultaneously over the same frequency band by using unique codes to separate the signals. Each user's data is spread across a wider bandwidth than the data rate, and a unique code is used to code and decode when the received signal. So it's coded at this end, goes across one set, and then decoded at the other end. Here we have frequency division multiplexing, FDM. So frequency division multiplexing, FDM, is a technique that allows multiple signals to be transmitted simultaneously over a single communication channel by allocating each signal a distinct frequency band. This is achieved by dividing the total bandwidth available into a series of non-overlapping frequency bands, each carrying a separate signal. So we have a multiplexer, 4 channels, and we demultiplex out of the other end. Okay, third generation or 3G offered higher data rates, enabling internet access, video calling, and streaming. Had true packet phones. They use wideband code division, multiple access. High-speed packet access is a combination of high-speed downlink packet access and high-speed uplink packet access. Here's wideband code division multiple access, WCDMA, and it essentially separates data from the telephone. So where we have our data, we packet it, and it goes over the WCDMA, which is a wide bandwidth, and goes to data, and we use our GSM for data and voice, and they're combined. So here, fourth generation 4G is further increased data speeds and reduced latency, supporting more demanding services like HD, video, and gaming. So it has LTE, which has wide bandwidth, and it uses orthogonal frequency division multiplexing, OFDM, and also uses multi-input, multi-output. Basically, these are multiple antennas. So LTE was designed to increase the capacity and speed of the wireless data networks by using a digital signal processor techniques and modulation. So they had to redesign and simplify the network architecture to become an IP-based system, so essentially a computer system. LTE wireless interface is incompatible with 2G and 3G, so it must be operated on a separate radio spectrum. Orthogonal frequency division multiplexing, so it's basically a digital modulation technique using Wi-Fi and 4G and 5G cellular. It divides the data into multiple parallel streams and transmit them on different frequency carriers, which are orthogonal to each other, which means 90 degrees out of phase. Here is a diagram showing many inputs and many outputs, MIMO. So here's our transmitter, and we have 4 antennas, which are sending out to the 4 antennas as our receiver, so we could multiply the amount of data and information we're transmitting. So our 5th generation 5G, so we had the first one is low band 5G from 600 to 700 megahertz. Widespread coverage, lower data speeds, and good for blanket coverage. Mid-band 5G with frequency between 1 and 6 gigahertz, balancing coverage and speed suitable for urban and suburban areas, and applications require a mix of speed and reach. So high-band 5G is millimeter wave. It's in the microwave area. Frequency 24 gigahertz and above, has high data rates, short range, susceptible obstructions, and ideal for dense urban areas and high capacity. Since the frequency has gone so high, our antenna links are shorter, and our distances between antennas have to be reduced. Here's a comparison between our 4G and 5G cells. 4G, we had 80% macro cells and 20% micro cells. So 5G, we have 20% macro cells and 80% micro. And that high frequency is causing us to use micro cells because the signals don't travel as far. Okay, let's talk about cellular backhaul. We actually have our network where our information is essentially computer centers, and they're sending information to our towers by now it's a fiber optic link, but we still have legacy copper and coax links. And they go to the cell site, and then they go up to the antenna. We also have microwave links that communicate over microwaves between towers, and also there is satellite communication to some cells that are way out or utilizing some newer technologies. Here is our 4G antenna or earlier. Here's a 5G antenna on a light pole, so it's much smaller antennas. And then you see one where they try to disguise it as a tree. Here's probably a base station with antennas. These little guys are 5G probably, but you can see the microwave antennas which are communicating to other cells or base stations. Okay, let's look at future 6G. So they're expecting ultra high speeds, significantly faster than 5G, and they're saying potentially reading up to 100 gigabits per second or 1 terabit per second. Ultra low latency, they're saying low is 0.1 milliseconds. That they're saying communication is almost instantaneous. Enhanced reliability, integration of new technologies will include like AI, IoT, and optical technology. AI is artificial intelligence, IoT is Internet of Things, and new frequency bands. They're expecting terahertz spectrum for increased capacity and speed. Okay, they're hoping for new applications like immersive extended reality, so virtual and augmented reality, holographic communication, digital twining, creation of digital replicas, systems for simulation analysis. That may be digital twinning. Also, connected robotics and autonomous systems, and wireless IAI reactions.